Robert, and thank you for your comments. The next speaker on our on the comments section is Wilson Parker from the Asheville High School Student Government. And Wilson, would you introduce the person you have with you, please?
This is Ariana Weaver.
Okay, and let me just say this before you get started. You did check on here, but I want the audience to know that you're speaking on behalf of the student government and your time is 5 minutes. Okay? So you do have 5 minutes.
We understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ariana Weaver.
Yes, my name is Ariana Weaver, and I am senior class vice president, and I'm representing my senior class.
And I'm the student body secretary treasurer. We'd like to thank the school board and the community for hearing what we have to say.
Pull your mic up.
We'd like to thank the school board and the members of the community for listening to what we have to say. We're here because concerns have been expressed to us by our fellow.
Okay,
of course.
This is important to us, and we really appreciate you all coming. So you're going to have to talk into the mic. And
Is this
yeah.
okay? Here we go.
And
Sorry
you may
about
have
that.
to just move over, and then when you all switch turns, you just walk in front of the mic, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Apologize for interrupting you, but okay.
Again, thank you for hearing us. We're here because concerns have been expressed to us by our fellow students about the cell phone policy. As I'm sure you're aware, because you were the ones who created the cell phone policy, it was created at the beginning of this school year in an attempt to prevent students from being able to use their cell phones to participate in criminal activities like instigating gang behaviors and so forth on campus. And while, of course, we agree that that's an admirable goal, we don't really think that the cell phone policy has been at all effective in combating that type of behavior, simply because, like it or not, at Asheville High School, a student, if that student really needs to use their cell phone, they're going to be able to do so, because it's simply a matter of moving to an unsupervised area like a bathroom and then using their cell phone. Also, obviously, someone who's willing to instigate or even participate in criminal activities like calling in a bomb threat on school campus isn't the type of person who's going to be dissuaded by the cell phone policy. So really the only people who the policy hurts are the students who only want to use their cell phones responsibly. Now, the claim has also been made that the cell phone policy has done a lot to make the learning environment, the classroom environment at Asheville High School a better one by eliminating the distraction posed by cell phones. But we disagree with that, because we need to remember that even before the board passed the cell phone policy, teachers did actively prevent students from using their cell phones in class. The only real thing, as far as we can see, that the board policy did was force the teachers to deal with the cell phone policy in a way that the board chose rather than a manner of their own choosing. As a member of the student government last year, I was a member of the school planning and management team, and at one of our meetings, faculty expressed concerns to me and to the school planning and management team at large that it was incredibly inconvenient for teachers who saw a student using a cell phone to have to get that cell phone from the student and then go to the main office and wade through the necessary bureaucracy to have the cell phone turned into the central office. We think that the cell phone policy, for the most part, has also greatly inconvenienced faculty and made it harder for them to do their jobs by wasting their valuable time. And it's posed many of them with the difficult choice between enforcing a policy like this or between simply ignoring it. And it seems that the latter choice is the prevailing one. I personally, I think maybe 3 of my teachers caught me. I'm using my cell phone in class, I think I was probably just checking the time. But none of those 3 times was my phone taken to the main office. And so I think that for the most part, the school board policy is either honored in the breach and therefore ignored, or it poses a massive inconvenience to teachers. And so I hope that what I've said so far has convinced you that that the cell phone policy hasn't been effective in making our school a safer one, and that the cell phone this policy also hasn't made our classrooms any more orderly or the instruction time for teachers any more effective. But the cell phone policy has greatly inconvenienced students. I was talking about this with my parents. I'm sure Ariana here agrees. The ability to use one's cell phone is very convenient. Like when swimming practice would be canceled, for example, or for another event would occur that would require me to communicate with my parents, it was extremely convenient for me to be able to just use my cell phone to send them a message. And I'm sure the opposite was true. My parents told me it was very convenient for them to be able to send me a message regarding changes of plans and so forth. So basically, we are, as the Asheville High School student government, would like to express the concerns of the student body to you and would like to begin working towards changes in the cell phone policy that would be better for the school as a whole. We'd like to start a dialogue with the school board, and we hope that the school board, in cooperation with the student government, can come to an agreement on an improvement in the cell phone policy that we can enact at your next meeting. We'd like to take any questions that members of the board or members of the community have for us regarding what we've said and then the changes we intend to make for the cell phone policy.
I have a question.
Of course.
Where did your information come from that the people who told you that the cell phone policy wasn't working? I don't know if you have a petition. Do you have notes from the teachers? Do you have anything substantiating when you say the students have decided?
Are you saying that you'd like to know our source for our reason for believing that students are opposed to the cell phone policy? Well, we are their elected representatives. I ran my campaign mainly with posters talking about getting changes started on this policy. And I think, wouldn't you agree that there's a consensus among the student body?
Yes, I would agree. Actually, with my campaign, we went into classrooms and gave speeches and asked the students what they would like for us to change. And cell phone usage was one of the top things they wanted to be changed.
I mean, if you want us to